How's everyone doing? Today I picked up some movies. I've got Blu-rays and DVDs, and as always, if you've seen any of these, definitely let me know what you think of them. There's 10 pickups in total, right there. And I ended up getting this from a seller who I purchased a bunch from previously. Talked about them in here before. I've shown a bunch of stuff. So I got all 10 of these for 30 bucks. So essentially $3 a pop, and including a bunch of Twilight Time and Criterion Collection. I think that's an amazing deal. They came up with a price, and for the whole lot, I was like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you. So I'm definitely pleased with this. There's a few things in here I haven't seen. I'm looking forward to checking them out, and I'll go ahead and get into it. But let me know what your favorite pickup from this lot is as well. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this seller, or either somebody they know, is a reviewer, because occasionally there'll be like clear review stuff. Like that one right there has a hole punch. That's generally an indication that it's a review copy. Not always, but sometimes. And a few other things in the past that I've gotten from them have had things like that, like a slash or something like that. But let's go ahead and get into it. First up from Criterion Collection, Personal Shopper. Now, I'm not a Kristen Stewart fan, and I feel like she's kind of the same in every single movie, just kind of blah. And I feel like she was kind of blah here, but in this role, it actually worked. She's kind of grieving the loss of her brother, who passed away, her twin brother, and they both have this heart condition. And she's also, he was a medium, and so she's kind of a medium as well. And she's trying to see if his presence is still in his old house. And she's also a personal shopper for, I guess, like a fashion star. Her name is Kira. This movie really surprised the heck out of me. It's a drama horror movie. It's got some horror elements that I was not expecting, and I actually kind of loved. And I kind of love this movie. It was atmospheric to the 10th degree. You know what? I'm still not a fan of her acting wise, but I thought it worked here for what it was here. And this is directed by Oliver Assayas, who they worked together before in Clouds of Sils Maria with Kristen Stewart right there. But yeah, I'm surprised that I enjoy this movie. And if you're a fan of Kristen Stewart, she does get naked in here. Just saying. There's a few really weird, quirky scenes, but overall, I was kind of blown away by it. I was really surprised by how much I enjoyed Personal Shopper. This came out at the end of 2016. I think it was like a limited release. And then I think it got a wide theatrical release in 2017, but it's still considered a 2016 film. But I love Criterion Collection as a company. They do a great job with their transfers, the special features. They've got the booklet, interior artwork. Love them. One of my all-time favorite companies. They've been around for forever. I remember when I was younger, they used to be called like Film School in a Box, is what people would refer to them as. Next up is Election. I was souped to get this. I wanted to pick this up for a while. As soon as it was announced, I was like, yes. And this person was selling it. And this is directed by Alexander Payne. He did Sideways, Descendants. I think I enjoyed Descendants a lot. I think that might be, I don't know, I'm kind of torn of which one is my favorite. What's your favorite Alexander Payne movie? Let me know. But Election is one from a while ago that he did that I really enjoy the heck out of. I love Reese Witherspoon. I'll pretty much watch anything that she's in. I watched a movie recently that she was in. I think it was called Home Again, which is kind of a cute family kind of movie with some drama elements in there. But I like her as an actress a lot. I think she has a lot of personality, a lot of charisma, and I love Matthew Broderick in here. He's kind of like curmudgeon, and she's so perky. She's running for was school president, I believe it was. I can't remember exactly the thing, but yeah, he's a teacher, and she's like this overachiever. And yeah, student body president is what she wants to be. And I love that that cover right there, pick flick. But I like the color scheme that they use too. But I'm excited to revisit this one. I remember this one, the ending of it being kind of like super depressing, but I kind of love it. I love depressing movies. I say that all the time. There you go. Just kind of like yellow inside. But Matthew Broderick right there. Gotta love it. But I cannot wait to revisit this one. It's been a while since I've seen it, and very excited. This is actually kind of like a surprising release to me for Criterion Collection, but I dig it. Every now and then they'll throw kind of a curveball. That's kind of one that I consider like a curveball movie. Like back in the day, they did The Rock and Armageddon, movies like that, and even Chasing Amy. But now I really, back in the day, I didn't like Chasing Amy, but now I like love the heck out of it. This is why I do a lot of editing usually. Not doing editing in this one because I go off on tangents and rants and things about other things that directors have done and actors have done. Anyway, let's get back to it. There was 4 Twilight Time movies in here. And usually like Criterion Collection movies go for like 25 bucks, 20 if they're on sale. That's generally like the sale price for it. And Twilight Time, they usually go for, I want to say like 30 bucks a pop. So the Twilight Time is usually they're limited to 3,000 copies, which I think is the case for all of these. Yes, all of these are limited to 3,000. And a lot of times when, especially like the popular ones or the horror titles, when they go out of print, people like flip them on eBay for like crazy prices. But first up is Woody Allen's Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask. I haven't seen this one before, but the cast in here looks awesome. You've got John Carradine, Tony Randall's in here, Gene Wilder, Burt Reynolds, just a ton of awesome actors right there. So yeah, it looks like a sex comedy. I think it's like an anthology kind of one right there. So there we go. Looking forward to checking that out. Next up is Two for the Road. This looks like a kind of a rom-com, and it stars. At first, I didn't realize that that was Albert Finney and Audrey Hepburn in there. It kind of looks like another actor right there. I can't think of who it is, but it looks like somebody else to me. Almost like Robert Redford a little bit. Yeah, I think that's who I was thinking of, Robert Redford initially. But yeah, right there it's Albert Finney, young Albert Finney. That's not how I picture Albert Finney usually. But yeah, I guess they're taking a road trip, and they're just kind of going over the woes of their marriage. So yeah, I mean the back looks very romantic, but that's what I can. Yeah, this is hilarious to be to the brutal and to the deeply poignant. So yeah, I'm excited for checking that one out. And next up is Gidget, not to be confused with the TV show Gidget with Sally Field. This is I guess she's like a surfer, beach bum girl, Sandra Dee, and then she finds romance as well. So looking forward to checking out. And then I really love Twilight Time as a company too, because they do the booklets, they do the disc artwork, they do interior artwork right there. Great job with their transfers. Sometimes they could have a little bit more special features. Not all of them have a ton of special features on here, but they're definitely a great company. Again, I think the price point is worth what you're getting, and I also think that limited releases like this are the future of physical media, where maybe not 3,000, but like a bigger company will have, you know, maybe 10,000 or something like that. But for a company like this, like Code Red is another one where they have like limited releases. They're a little bit more expensive. Usually, you know, 25 bucks for, I think Code Red generally is like the go-to. For Twilight Time, I think it's 30, but yeah, I think they're worth it. I like the clear cases too. Again, I love this company. I love Criterion. I love Twilight Time. I love Arrow Video. Those are like 3 of my top favorites right there. Dr. Dolittle. This is the original Dr. Dolittle. This is starring, has Richard Attenborough in here, but it's also got Rex Harrison. He was in Cleopatra. He was in a whole bunch of different things back in the day. Great actor. Stars Richard Fleischer from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But yeah, Talking to the Animals is the classic one. It's been so long since I've seen this one. I remember this one being enjoyable too. Great kind of production value for these, for this old school one. But I do like the Eddie Murphy one too. It's different. But there you go, the interior artwork. I dig the heck out of what Twilight Time is doing. They're just giving these releases like the proper releases. And again, I love the booklets. If you're a fan of the film, they have all kinds of behind the scenes photos and information. So I love it. That's a classic right there. Gidget. I'll go ahead and show you the interior for these ones too. I like the color scheme for that one too, for the road. And then the Woody Allen one. Everything You Always Want to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask. Again, I love Gene Wilder, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking out his segment in here. Next up is The Houses That October Built 2. Now, yeah, this one has a, I didn't notice this before. Actually, this might be just damage. I don't know if this is a cut or just damage right there. You can see that. It's still sealed up, but Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one isn't out yet. I gotta double check on that. But yeah, I hated this movie. I did a review for it on my channel when I got like a screener link for it. The first one, I loved the concept, but I didn't like the way that it played out, especially the ending. And then this movie, it basically ruins the first movie. It basically, you know, just from the trailer, you find out that they're not dead, they're alive. And they're just going to go back out and do the same thing that they did in the first movie, looking for the scariest haunt, like the Halloween haunts, haunted houses and stuff. So it's like the same freaking concept, except the ending on this one just ruins everything. It just makes me hate this so much. I thought this was awful, unwatchable. The only thing that I thought was kind of interesting about it is they actually go to some real haunts, haunted houses, so you see some real stuff like the Easton State Penitentiary, all the different kind of things. The Kobayashi makes an appearance in here, which is another kind of weird thing. Yeah, I could not recommend that one at all. I thought this was super disappointing. Again, this was in the lot, so I wasn't going to argue it. You know, I was like, take that one out and let me pay the same amount. No. So, you know, maybe I'll give it a rewatch and see, but I'm not gonna jump to rewatch that one anytime soon. Next up is the World Series Houston Astros Collector's Edition right here. This is an 8-disc collection, and it has all 7 games from the 2017 World Series and the complete American League Championship Game 7 with the Yankees. And there's 4 audio options. You got the TV, Astro radios, Dodgers radio, and Spanish language broadcast. And you got some game trivia, stats, and more. So that's pretty cool. 22.5 hours worth of content. There you go. And this is from Shout Factory. And that one has the hole punch through there. But I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. You've got a booklet right there. And then one thing I love, each disc right here is for each game. And it gives you like the score as well. So that is pretty awesome, I think. So that's a high quality set. That's how you do these sets. Like I see some companies, there's the ALCS right there, Game 7, American League against the Yanks. But yeah, I've seen other companies releasing sets like this, and they're just putting them in just crappy packaging, putting them in stacked or putting them in sleeves. This is the way to do it. The swing tray with a nice, you know, big case right there. That's the proper way. Next up is Angry Inuk, and I actually watched this recently before I did this update. I was like, you know what, I really want to check this out, and I'm so glad I did. I thought this was actually a really interesting look. This is a documentary about basically seal hunting. Everybody knows seal hunting is terrible and bad, except for the Inuit people, and they depend on their livelihood for it. You know, they not only eat the meat, but they sell the skins, you know, for fashion. They basically, the money that they get from that, they use to go hunting and survive. And there's new laws banning, and it basically affects them greatly and makes them basically hard to survive. And it's basically showing from their point of view and showing kind of the bias of all these activist groups and stuff like that, animal rights groups, and that they're basically not giving them their proper due. It's kind of you think about it too. They mentioned a good point. You know, you eat cows and stuff like that, and those cows are often tortured. The seals, they're just killed quickly. So it's kind of an interesting perspective on that, and kind of a little bit of a cultural bias rather. And I don't know, I just thought there was an interesting insight and something I never really thought about before. It kind of opened my eyes. So I definitely thought this was worth checking out, and I think I'm going to keep this in my collection because I just thought it was really interesting. And it's filmed over several years, some of the actual Inuit people. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then next up is Fargo Year 3 with Ewan McGregor. And there he is on the back. I've never seen any of the seasons of this show, but I do want to check it out. I've heard great things. I love the movie, so from the Coen brothers. And yeah, I've heard good things, so there you go. I feel like I can't just crack into season 3 without checking out seasons 1 and 2. But this is a 4-disc set, includes all 10 episodes. It's DVD. I wish it was Blu-ray. I don't know why they do that for a lot of the TV shows. They'll do just DVD. And then sometimes they'll mix it up. They'll do like season 1 Blu-ray and DVD, and then season 2 only DVD. I'm like, what? But there you go. Those are the 10 pickups. If you see any of them, let me know what you think of them. What was your favorite pickup? And what do you think? Was this a good deal? I think this is a pretty awesome deal. I'm pretty souped on it. There you go. Leave me comments down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.